Main event, Till v Collins, but a chance to remind you that next week you get a chance to see one of Britain's brightest prospects. He's Luton's Billy Schwer. He's very exciting to watch, and of course he's the newly crowned British and Commonwealth lightweight champion. He's a good lad. He's probably watching this at home now. We're going to try and get him in at some point, introduce you to him. Very good prospect. That's just how explosive he can be, so make sure you tune in next week as he takes on Mauricio Aceves in a 10-round lightweight contest. There you go, ringside next Thursday, 17th, live from the Wembley Grand Hall, London, same time, 9:30. So, to the two men contesting the British 11-stone title tonight. Former holders of this belt include Larry Paul, Mo Hope, Jimmy Batten, Errol Graham, who's at ringside, Chris Pyatt and Gary Stretch. Till is the man in the driving seat now, though, and Collins could so easily have fought for this title a couple of years ago back himself, but he needs a victory tonight. Let's take a closer look at both Till and Collins. There you go, Collins will win in 6 rounds. Where's your money going, briefly?
Well, this time I think my money's going with your man, Andy.
Where my man's going?
Yeah, because Kevin Webber, who sparred with Andy Till, he spoke to me today, said, Andy Till, I've sparred with him, like, he's you can box him, the best way to beat him, hit him with a couple, hold him, frustrate him. But we know Collins is going to start going out there to box, as he said he would. After 2 or 3 rounds, he's going to start having the fight. Andy Till's going to love that.
And the more you hit Till on the chin, the more he sort of thinks, I'll have a bit more of that. And he just keeps coming, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He's a real battler.
Real battler. This is going to be a cracker. I can sense the atmosphere from here. We're not there, but Till from Northolt, never in a boring fight. He will have brought an army of fans with him, and Collins, too, on his night can beat the best of them. He won't be short of his support either. Promises to be just as entertaining as Till's last fight. Let's go ringside and join Ian and Glenn for Till's first defence of his British light middleweight crown.
Yes, there's quite an expectation here for this fight. Look at the smokiness around this hall. Everybody packed in, very, very intimate indeed, and we await the entry of the challenger, Tony Collins, just 22 from Yateley. He's on a bit of a bad run. He's only won 1 of his last 4. This is such an important night for him. Tony Collins, who once said, British titles don't matter much to me, I'm going to bypass all that and go on to world titles. I tell you what, they matter an awful lot to him tonight after his defeat last time against Curtis Summit, but he looks bouncy and he looks confident. Tony Collins, the brother of George Collins, the welterweight who got the big build-up, but it never quite happened for him. And a similar fate could be awaiting brother Tony here if he can't turn things around tonight in this British title fight against Andy Till. Very, very determined, and you heard him say there, he thinks he'll finish this job in 6 rounds. Well, apart from Glenn McCrory, I have Harold Graham, former British and European, and just about the best fighter, I reckon, from Britain of modern times, never to win a world title. Now then, Harold, what do you think about this one? It looks like a thriller, doesn't it?
It's going to be a thriller, definitely. And I think I put my head on the line. It's got to be Tony tonight. It's got to be. He's got to box well, and I think he'll get it.
Tony Collins, for you, 6 rounds, though, seems a bit on the optimistic side. That's what he's saying.
But, yeah, he's a fast mover anyway. And he doesn't have to go there 8 rounds, 9 rounds, 10 rounds anyway. He'll do it on the 6 rounds, definitely. It doesn't matter about how long he has to go. He'll still do it.
Well, here comes Andy Stoneface Till, the champion. Thanks for those comments, Harold. You never see a smile crack his face in a boxing arena. As he says, there's not an awful lot to smile about in this business when you're going about the job of trying to win fights. Now then, it could be an interesting clash of styles here. Collins, fast, quite flashy. This man, strong and relentless, Glenn McCrory.
Yes, I think it's going to be a very, very good fight. It certainly has the makings of it on paper. We've got Till, who is riding high at the minute, and we've got Collins, who's on a downer. But I think that Collins may well just have enough just to win this fight.
Okay, your MC tonight is Mike Goodall.
Ladies and gentlemen, live on ringside on Sky Sports, this is the main event of the evening. Frank Maloney for Championship Enterprises and sponsored by Nightstick proudly presents a contest of 12 3-minute rounds to decide the light middleweight championship of Great Britain. Between, in the blue corner, wearing the black trunks from Yateley, the challenger, Tony Collins. And in the red corner, wearing the gold trunk from Norfolk, the light middleweight champion of Great Britain, At the weigh-in today, Collins scaled 10 stone 11 pounds, Till 10 stone 13 3/4 pounds. Your officials appointed for this contest by the British Boxing Board of Control, the steward in charge, Dr. Ozzie Ross, the timekeeper, Mr. Denny Peacock, the referee, Mr. David Parris.
So everything's set here for what we confidently expect could be one of the domestic dust-ups of 1992, even this late in the year. This is a very good division at the moment when you think there are people like Robert McCracken and Lloyd Hunnigan around, and Sean Cummins as well. But this is the champion, Andy Till, 29, the fighting milkman from Norfolk, defending his title for the first time against Tony Collins, who's never held this championship, has been a WBC international champion. That's a very junior title. This one would mean much, much more to him. Till hoping to win this and go on and get a world title shot. Hardly ever seems to take a backward step to me, does Andy Till, and already starting to try and put some pressure and rough Collins up on inside. Good shot that from Collins.
That was a big overhand right there from Collins. Landed flush on the side of Till's head. Till's fighting his normal fight, coming in strong, working hard. It'll be interesting to see how Collins can handle that sort of pressure, especially after his last defeat.
No question about a cautious start or anything like that. These two have got straight down to work.
Good left hook from Collins there. He's leaping in with a few big shots, but they're all landing.
Both of these had hard fights last time out. Till against Wally Swift when he won the title, and Collins when he was beaten by body punches against the American Curtis Summit. Collins has the faster hands of these two. Right uppercut inside from Collins looked a good shot as well there. But the thing about Till, as he says himself, he is so very, very strong, and he seems to just get stronger and stronger as fights go on.
He does, very strong, and takes a good shot. And I think in a fight like this, he's going to need to have to, because we know Tony Collins can bang, and it looks as if Till's defence isn't that great, where Collins is going to get through with some of his shots, so Till's going to have to take a few.
Body shot from Collins. Till coming forward all the time. Now it's Collins, though. He doesn't take too many backward steps himself either, which is why we expect it to be something reasonably thrilling.
Already a very good first round. Collins landing with some good shots, and Till pushing hard, looking very strong.
Good jabs, working off the jab, and the uppercut inside too from Collins, who looks quite confident and has stepped up his work rate as this round has gone on. Now Till not letting the challenger take the initiative. Some first round this, isn't it? Oh, he got through with a couple of decent shots to the head there, did Till. Well, terrific start to the fight, and they give each other a very old-fashioned look at the end of the round, Glenn.
A very good start, and tempers are fraying already. That was a tremendous start, and we can see how strong Till is. And we can see that Collins is getting through with some shots, so it's just how tough Till is. Is he going to take the shots and use his strength and keep applying the pressure like he did in that round? That was a good round for both men.
This is some action from that first round. Uppercut inside from Till. I'm not sure that left hook didn't hit the gloves, in fact. He covered up quite well and looks quite evasive there on the ropes, to be fair, Tony Collins. Tough round to score. I think I'll have that one even. I'll do a cop out there.
It was a very good round, very exciting.
There's
from
Till's
one man to the other.
credentials for you, Glenn. 17 wins, just the 2 defeats on his record. A disqualification against Ensley Bingham, and he was beaten early in his career by Dean Scarf. Second round, Till, the champion, in the yellow trunks. You don't blink in a fight like this. Collins trying to employ lots of lateral movement and be elusive around those ropes. The younger man by 7 years, though he's had far more fights than Till.
Collins has got to try and use his skill. I think he is the more skillful of the two. But Till has such immense power and just wants to drive forward all the time.
The other thing about Till is he is superbly conditioned as well. He can look a bit of a plodder at times, and sometimes appears to be fighting with his face almost, but he is deceptively effective.
Well, he has a great strength and he keeps going forward, so I think fighters get sick. He also takes a very good shot, so he breaks their will.
Collins looking to counter. Till, pressure, pressure, pressure all the time. Collins coming back well. That was a great left to the body from the challenger. But on sheer volume of punches in this round, Andy Till is dominant.
Yes, Collins is getting through with the cleaner shots, but Till's shots look as if they have more strength and are taking a little bit more out of Collins.
Yes, the 11-stone division, which has only been recognised in Britain since 1973. Champions like Maurice Hope, Jimmy Batten, Pat Thomas, Harold Graham, Chris Pyatt and Gary Stretch. Larry Paul was the first ever champion at this weight.
Collins has just got to keep moving, using his boxing skills. Try and keep Till off balance. Don't let that happen.
Till, well, wrestles his man to the floor, and that's not a knockdown. Don't be fooled by that booing from this crowd here, and just being read the riot act for a moment there, Andy Till. No more of that, says referee Dave Parris. But at the moment, Till is taking this second round just on work rate and pressure all the way through.
Till threw Collins to the floor very heavily there, and that would have took quite a bit out of Collins. He landed very heavy.
His composure does seem to have been ruffled a little bit, Collins. He looks to come back in the closing stages of round 2.
Goals on.
There's the way that I'm seeing it at the moment. Andy Till ahead by half a point due to that second round. Till really on top in a big way in the second round. Former champion at this weight, Harold Graham, watching with Glenn McCrory now at ringside. Quick comment from you, Harold. How do you see this?
Well, I see this fight. Tony's going to lose it if he doesn't pick his shots now and start moving, using the ring all the time, because he's being cut down. He's being cut down. He's got to use the ring to win it. It's starting a bit now, but this guy, here he goes again. Quick 2 rounds, he'll stop it. If he carries on like this.
Blitz from Till, and Collins is down. And Harold Graham's prophetic words coming immediately true. Dave Parris administers the count, and Collins is in trouble in this fight. He's a young man who's had a lot of hard fights in his career, and he's under heavy bombardment here, and he may go again. He's looking to trade, but Till shows every signs of wearing him down. Collins is not throwing a lot back. The referee is looking on closely. And the 22-year-old is on very unsteady legs indeed. I think this is going to be stopped any second if it carries on like this.
I think you're right. Collins has got to get off them ropes. He's got to tie his man up, which he's trying to do now. He just stood there and allowed Till to really open up and hit him with lots of shots. He's in desperate trouble now.
There's a long time to go in the round as well, Glenn. This started off right from the word go. He's been on the floor. He's down again. Well, the ropes, only the ropes kept him up, and I'm surprised that wasn't counted as a knockdown. He undoubtedly would have fallen there, but for the ropes.
Yes, Till's catching with everything.
It's all over. Andy Till has done the job in the third round, and he did it in such an emphatic fashion. I don't think that was in anybody's script. And all those tough fights that Tony Collins has had in the past, I'm afraid, just caught up with him there. But take nothing away from Till. That was a super performance as far as he was concerned. Now let's have a look at that first knockdown again, Glenn.
Here it is. Till just puts constant pressure on Collins. His legs look as if he's gone. He doesn't try and hold or try and turn his man, and just allows Till to open up on him. Takes a big right hand and then slips down.
This is the finish of the contest, Glenn.
Collins just allowed himself to take too many shots, and Till showed great strength. You know, he took what Collins had and just kept piling on. A very good win for Till.
He was gone by then. He's now, I'm afraid, only won one of his last 5 contests, and you wonder what the future holds for Tony Collins. He could be one of the oldest 22-year-olds in the business. Harold Graham, you confidently predicted that that was about to happen, and from Tony Collins' point of view, I'm afraid to say you were absolutely right, weren't you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the guy is right in front of him all the time. He had to get away from him, and he couldn't do it. He pressured him so much, but hat off to Tony. He tried. He tried.
Let's get the official announcement from Mike Goodall.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute 40 seconds in the third round, the referee has stopped the contest. Tony Collins winning, no decision against you. The winner and undefeated light middleweight champion.
Very impressive performance from Andy Till. Perhaps the most impressive of his career to date. There were those who had their arguments about the Wally Swift fight. That was very, very close. Till got the nod there, but there was certainly no doubt at all about the way he did that job. And of course now they're talking about him going in for the world title itself. Well, is he going to be one of those fighters like Dennis Andries who flourishes late in his career, Glenn?
Well, he certainly is. That was a great performance. He showed his strength and determination, and when he had his man going, he just piled on the pressure. He certainly looked a lot better than I've seen him in recent fights, and he's getting better all the time. It was a great performance.
So there it is. He's posing for the photographers. He's milking the moment, and he deserves it. He's still the champion, Andy Till.
could turn out to be a good champion. He's impressed me that the more he goes on, the more sort of confidence he has. He knows he can do the job. It's great.
Well, you know, it's funny, winning, it becomes a habit if you do it often enough, as Andy Till's showing, but so does losing, and that's what Tony Collins showed as well. What Tony Collins' job was to go out there, keep his man away from him, frustrate him, and hopefully, as he planned, catch him with a big shot in later in about the 6th round, yeah? Never happened. Andy Till now, his game plan was go out there, get on top of him right from the off, get him involved in the fight, frustrate him, start confusing him by round 2 and start working him. He did exactly that. That was a faultless performance. And as Ian said there, even I said it like when he won against Swift, it was a bit debatable. But he's proved by far that he's a champion, and that was an impressive performance, and it was a champion's performance there tonight.
Let's analyse a little bit of the champion's performance. Let's look at that last round from the bell. Let's just sort of talk us through this. The writing was on the wall to some extent, because Collins had been hurt badly at the end of the second, Gary.
Yeah, so all Andy Till had to go out and do is stay on top of his man. Remember, Collins is now quite wary, because he knows that his man's going to keep coming forward. He has to keep him off. How am I going to keep him off? And you get tired trying to run, and his man's throwing body shots, head shots. His punches coming from all over the place. He must be... I must excuse the pun, but he was being milked there, wasn't he?
Yeah, get the jokes, the milk and the bottle. And It's the cream of the bunch, and
See, and there you had to get up in the man's... The worst thing in the world is you've got an aggressive fighter coming forward, looking the way Andy Till does, his head's on the floor, and he's coming back again. And look, he doesn't back off, he just exchanges with him. Although Collins tries to land some shots to fend him off, but it does make no difference. Andy Till is on him, he's not going to be denied, you know?
It's like a bulldog. You know, I've got you in the corner, I'm going to finish you off. I don't care what you throw at me, I'll take it. I'm going to do you.
That's right. Well, that's the attitude to have. That is the attitude to have. He's throwing hooks, uppercuts. But again, we give Collins some credit, because he could have folded up long before now, but he did his best, didn't he? At least he tried to hang in there.
No, you've got to give Collins a lot of credit. I mean, it's a tough, coming off a loss to Summit, let's face it, it's a tough fight to take, to come back with, you know. A lot of people would have taken a softer option, and he's gone straight in, British title shot, against a hard man.
Well, that's why fighters don't last long as fighters. That's why I think we've seen, they were good shots there. And the referee quite rightly stepped in. He could have allowed Collins to go on and most probably get knocked out, but he might have shared one round. He definitely lost the one previously. So he'd almost lost 3 rounds out of 3, and he was taking a hiding. Why bother to let him continue? Very good referee in there as well.
It's the first knockdown of the round.
I mean, he must have been still a bit dazed from the round before,
Exactly, that's what
wasn't
I think. His legs were quite splayed. You know, when the legs spread, you know they're searching for balance, aren't they?
There you go, right on the top of the head. Very good shot, and he's grabbing onto the ankle as if to say, well, try and get back up. But Andy Till was not to be denied, and he wanted to remove all doubt as to whether he did actually win the title, and he did that tonight. You know, he proved he was a true champion.
Collins?
Well, Collins, it's debatable now. You see, like, he's going to go the same way as his brothers have gone, you know?
Yeah.
In boxing, it's very, very, very important that you have good management, you know? And I'm not saying the manager's done the wrong things, but if somebody's just come off a loss, like Collins had done, and to put him in a title fight against somebody like Till in his very next fight, it's a bit mercenary, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we'll talk more in a moment. We'll take a quick break now, after which we'll try and catch up with still the British light middleweight champion Andy Till. Of course, there's USA news and details of the competition too. Don't go away. Welcome back to ringside. Let's go straight back to the Your Court, where Ian Darke should be alongside still the British light middleweight champion Andy Till.
Well, Andy Till, that was some performance. I would think that must go down as one of the most impressive performances of your whole career.
Yeah, it was well done well. I performed pretty well. Like, I thought I was going to expect a long, hard fight, 12-round fight, but I went out sharp, jabbing sharp, hitting him with the right hands, and they paid off.
All the predictions before that fight were close 12-round points decision. That was most people's prediction. But were you always confident you could do the job in double quick time like that?
I didn't think I'd do it in double quick time, but I thought I'd do it around about 8, 9 or 10, because I thought he ain't got as much stamina as I got, judging by his other fights he's had. But he's a good boy, Tony Collins. He's had plenty of fights, but he ain't had the right fights.
Now then, just talk us through that third round. We can have a look at the finish. It was real pressure, pressure, pressure all the time from you.
Well, even after the second round, halfway through the second round, I could feel him tiring. So I knew it was my time to come on to him. The manager said to him, "You got to keep going at the same pace, if not step it up a bit," and that's what I've done.
You seem to be flourishing late in your career, don't you?
Yeah, well, because I've had to, not flourishing, I've always been this good. When I say...
He said modestly.
When I say this good, I'm just getting the chances now, and now I'm proving myself. When I get the chances, I can do anything.
Let's bring in a fellow who doesn't get a lot of credit, but here he is, Johnny Bloomfield, the trainer. Now then, you do a lot of hard work. Tell us about the qualities of this man, Andy Till. Have we underrated him all this time?
I think everybody's underrated Andy Till. Everybody goes against him. At his last 3 fights, Davis, Swift and Collins, the boxing news said he wouldn't win. They gave the other boy to win. But he's one of the hardest trainers. We've been training for 8 weeks solidly, 8 weeks, every day. I think we've had 1 day off. He's such an easy man to train. He's, what can I say? He's as strong as a lion. People don't realise he's been sparring with cruiserweights, like heavyweights, and holds his own. He's a light middle, he's 11 stone. And to be quite honest, I honestly don't think, when they say Andy Till takes a lot of shots, he don't look at him. Ain't got a mark on him.
He hasn't either. You virtually live with him, of course. You don't go on the milk round with him as well,
no,
do you?
It's a bit too early, that. It's a bit, that's a bit too early. But that's what I mean. The man's worked hard all his life. He's a milkman. He gets up at 4:30. He does a milkman. He comes home, does his run. What would he do if he never had a job and he concentrated on boxing alone? What a lot of the British champions or world champions do. I think, you've got a lot more to see from Andy Till.
Right. Well, let's let you into some exciting plans for Andy Till, because we can bring in his manager here, Harry Holland, who's been with Andy right from the beginning. Now, Harry, you're talking about a world title fight against the WBO champion, John David Jackson. Now, when and where?
Well, we're looking for, we believe the TV Sky's got a date about March. I'm negotiating with Frank Maloney to do a joint promotion on his side to bring him over here. Hopefully we'll talk the right money and we'll bring him over, and Andy Till will be world champion. I think tonight the Sky viewers can see that he's not just a walk-forward fighter. He can box, he can mix it when he's go, and I'll say he's just going to get better and better. But I'm so proud of him, it's untrue. I thank everyone for getting behind. I thank everyone now in front of the old Sky viewers. I think everyone's got behind Andy Till. All the trainers, my mate Johnny Bloomfield, Peter Snowshow, everybody for what they've done for Andy. His wife, everyone's behind Andy Till. Stay with us. We will bring the World Championship, the WBO title, back to Great Britain.
How realistic is that fight? I mean, how near is it to being completed? Because there's a lot of talk in boxing.
Yeah, sure. We was already talking on the last time when he fought, so we're getting nearer and nearer all the time. What we need is one really decisive win. And I think tonight, I think you all agree, he's really given that. He showed what he can really do, and he's going to get better, Ian.
Yeah, super performance tonight. One last comment from you, Andy. How does that sound to you, a world title fight in March?
It sounds good. I'd just like to say thank you for all my supporters, for being behind me all the time. And I'd like to say a special happy birthday to my mate's little boy, Ricky. He's won today.
Thank Frank Maloney for
Frank Maloney for promoting the
Okay,
fight.
I think the thank yous are finished with Andy Till. You can guess it's a pretty happy camp.
All right, thank you.
What can I say but thanks for talking to us. Good lad, nice genuine bloke.
Yeah.
Is he world class?
Well, you see, I think that's a difficult question to ask at this stage, because we've seen him against other British fighters. We haven't seen him against international fighters, so it'd be wrong to make a judgment on him like that, and especially on a night like this when he's performed so well. What I would like to see, if he does get the title fight, then we can all get behind him. At least what we've seen of him, we know that he's somebody you can go out there and put your hearts in and say, well, listen, he's representing us, Yeah. He ain't going out there, he's not going to go out there half-hearted, he's going to go out there and have a fight. And that's what we want, Yeah,
well, we'll see if we can make it happen, eh?
Yeah.
Now, as always in the world of boxing, there's lots going on, especially stateside, and especially if you are the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. So here's USA News. This week, Riddick Bowe was in New York to receive the keys to the city from Mayor David Dinkins. Seems like a fair swap to me, the freedom of the city for a pair of old boxing gloves.
But I am just very, very proud that we have a New Yorker who is a champion of the world. And as he said a moment ago, his opponent just wouldn't quit, didn't know how to quit. And my response was, that makes your victory the more sweet, because it was a great fight, and he has proven himself to be a great champion.
And then out to his old neighbourhood of Brooklyn, where he got an especially warm welcome. These, of course, are the same streets that Mike Tyson rose from, and it's a journey Bowe was only too glad to make.
There's a lot of guys who all are fortunate to get out of the ghettos and what have you. A lot of times they don't return. So I'm going back there with a positive message to let the people know that I care. And if you work hard, you can come up out of the ghetto.
Now, who's that under the head guard? Any guesses? Well, if I was to show you his manager, Jackie Callan, it might help. Here's what she wants for her man, James Toney.
I would like Julian Jackson next. I think that's the fight that makes the most sense to the boxing fans, makes the most sense to James and I. But getting Don King and Bob Arum to sit down and decide to work together, that's the problem there. Both fighters want the fight. And if that fight can be made, that is, of course, the fight everyone wants to see. Other than that, I would think either Tiberi again to prove that that one was a fluke, or else move up. There's Barkley, there's Nunn again, there's just a whole group, Nigel Benn. You know, there's a lot of good fighters at super middleweight. So if that became the desirable weight class, we've already beaten Glenn Wolfe, we've already beaten Reggie Johnson, we've already beaten Murky Sosa. So there's really not a lot left in that division.
Whilst Toney does all his work in the ring, it's Callan, in what basically is a male-dominated sport, who does the business out of the ring. It's an unusual combination.
He's just a buddy. He's a real fun person to be with. You know, he's a lot of fun. He makes me laugh, and he tells me his problems, and I would certainly feel free to confide in him if I had a problem. And, you know, there's a real special relationship there that goes way beyond just a manager and a fighter. It's pretty unique.
Now here's a story to live and learn by. Vinny Pazienza is to fight again on December the 15th, but the story goes much deeper than that. This was the spot over a year ago where he suffered a serious automobile accident, so serious in fact that he fractured his neck. Typically, at the time, this was his response.
I'm the champ of the world, and it's not going to end here. I have a bright future ahead of me. With Dr. Carter's help, with the help of my family, my fans, my friends, that are the best. There's going to be bright things ahead, and I just want you people to know that. When I receive letters like this, what I've gone through, what happened to me, seems minor. I'm a middleweight, but I'm a very big man, and I can overcome this, and I will.
The two-time world champion, suffering enormous pain and still wearing his angel brace, began to train. Eventually, the brace went.
When this happened to me, you know, I just wasn't ready to pack it in. I'm not at that point in my career yet. I'm not at that point in my life. I just won the world title, and I plan on defending it. I plan on going after more, and it just came at not an opportune time, the accident. But like everything else, I always make the most out of it. Whenever anything bad happens to me, I always make the most out of it, and something good always follows, all the time.
And he continues with those plans. Unfortunately, he no longer is world champ, being stripped for inactivity. But if he has his way, he'll be right back there at the top.
I'm going to fight for a world title again. I just have to keep plugging, keep pushing, working hard.